This is How It Always Is by Laurie Frankel. The Adams-Walsh family of Madison, Wisconsin is not your traditional family. No, not quite. Mom is an emergency room doctor and Dad stays home and works on his novel. They have 4 healthy, robust boys and life is chaotic and full of misadventures, as life tends to be with 4 boys. But there is patience and love and commitment, and life is good. When Rosie and Penn make the decision to have one more child, they each pretend that they don't care if they get a boy or a girl, but Rosie secretly follows every old wives' tale she's ever heard of in an effort to get a baby girl. She knows it's silly, she's a doctor, she understands the science, but she does them anyway. Sure enough, when the baby arrives, it's a boy! They name him Claude, and they are thrilled, because he's healthy and bright and everything they could hope for in a child. When Claude is almost 4, he announces that when he grows up, he wants to be a girl. Let me rephrase. His parents ask him what he wants to be when he grows up, and he declares that he would like to be a scientist. Then he hesitates and says, "Can girls be scientists?" And his parents assure him that girls can be whatever they want to be. His own mom is a scientist. She's a doctor. And so Claude, looking quite relieved to have that question answered, says, "Good. Then I want to grow up to be a girl scientist." Rosie and Penn don't panic. Parenting is a leap into the unknown with good intentions and your fingers crossed at the best of times, and kids go through phases. Every parent knows that. But Claude wants to be a princess. He has a favorite dress, and sometimes he refuses to take it off. He likes to wear barrettes in his hair. He wants to grow his hair long enough to sit on. When he goes to kindergarten, he carries his lunch in a red patent leather handbag. Claude wants to be called Poppy. Poppy is blessed to be born into a family who's willing to let her be who she wants to be. Things are going as well as can be expected when a simple play date turns into a frightening homophobic incident, and Rosie and Penn are suddenly confronted with the idea that the world might not be a safe place for a child like Poppy. As an ER doc, Rosie is terrified and haunted by the memory of a transgender woman who was beaten nearly to death by some college students who felt they'd been made to appear foolish, deceived by a classmate they thought they knew. Rosie and Penn make the difficult decision to transport the entire family to Seattle, Washington, a city that has a reputation for tolerance and enlightenment. When it comes time for school, Poppy's family realize that it's an opportunity for Poppy to start at a new school where no one knows that she used to be Claude. And so they make the decision not to take a chance on the possibility of rejection, and they agree, as a family, to keep Poppy's identity a secret. The stress of this secret and keeping Poppy safe affects everyone in the family differently. But those stresses are easy to bear when they are told that, statistically speaking, 40% of transgender people attempt suicide at least once in their lifetime. And so they move forward, keeping the secret, and things go well, until they don't. This book is not just about deciding when a child should have to decide what gender they are and whether or not there should only be 2 choices. The author does not purport to have all the answers to life's big questions. This book is about being a parent and understanding that children come in all shapes and sizes, abilities, and degrees of potential. This book is about keeping your children safe in a world that is not safe, discovering just how far you would go in order to protect them, and at what cost to the rest of your family. This book is about secrets and what happens to a family when they decide to keep a secret of this magnitude, and how that secret ends up keeping them. The author, Laurie Frankel, does not shy away from the honest confusion that Poppy feels when she realizes you can't just grow up and be a girl. She presents the lessons learned within the pages of this novel with love and integrity and plenty of humor to buffer the gravity of the subject matter. Decisions are made, for better or worse, and there is stress and tension, heartbreak and prejudice, and there is hope and acceptance. I think this book has a universal appeal, and it is available on Hoopla as an audiobook and also on Cloud Library as an ebook and an audiobook.